Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are taking a look at some sights and scenes around the spring train show from the Dakota Southeastern Division's spring meet in Sioux Falls, South Dakota in March 2025. Dakota Southeastern, or DSED for short, is a division of the National Model Railroad Association located within the Thousand Lakes region.
Dakota Southeastern Division of the NMRA, serving model railroaders in the greater Sioux Falls, South Dakota area.
So before we get started with this episode, I wanted to share with you a question that my wife posed to me when I got home on Saturday, and that is what my favorite part of the show was. And the answer is always the same to that question. I love catching up with friends old and new. So I wanted to take the time to call out a couple of people that I chatted with briefly yesterday, Charles, Dan, and Larry, that are viewers of the channel, and I got to meet you guys and get to know a little bit more what your interests are in railroading and model railroading and what your operations look like. There wasn't enough time, but hopefully sometime down the road there will be. Also, Mr. Rick Mills, basically the state railroad historian here in South Dakota. The man has forgotten more about railroading and trains than probably most people will ever know. Here we see an overview of the show opening in the 10 o'clock hour on Saturday morning. Here's an overview of the show looking from the stage in mid-afternoon on Saturday. The other thing that happened at the train show on Saturday is I got some feedback on this brand new shirt that I'm wearing. I had an idea for this design a while back and finally got it printed. I'm thinking of having this mass produced for section crew members, for operators, and for fans of the Black Hills and Eastern Railroad. Let me know in the comment section below if you'd be interested in one for purchase. Here are the division's HO scale NMRA standard modules. There's a brand new module on the layout debuting this spring, built and decorated by Mr. Rich Holzapfel. SDPB did a really neat story on Rich in their Dakota Life series, and I'll link to that in the description below, and I've got a link to that also in our Facebook page related to the channel. Here are the division's N-scale T-track modules. I'm going to go into depth in a separate episode on N-scale at the show in a subsequent episode. Byron has made a great deal of progress on his HO scale module since the debuted at the show last fall. Here is a battery-powered Thomas & Friends themed layout. I guess the manufacturer is Tomy, and I've learned from my friends John and David down in Texas that this stuff is highly collectible. This Tomy manufactured stuff with a blue track is, I guess, highly sought after in some corners. So here are Gary and Glenn's T-track modules. I was disappointed to learn that Gary can no longer transport his layout that I showed in a previous episode in his CRV because he recently updated to a brand new Honda CRV, and the rack that transported the old layout, or the former layout that you saw here, no longer fits in the new CRV. And here's some American Flyer S-gauge action. I love that CB&Q flare. So here we have some more N-scale T-track modules. So the group's big announcement for this spring was that the train show will be changing locations next spring in 2026, which will be presented at the Sioux Falls Convention Center March 21st and 22nd. So I hope this episode has inspired you to get involved in your local NMRA division. My local division is doing great work, and I'm sure your local division could use your help and participation as well. This is where we're going to pull the pin on this particular episode. I hope you enjoyed the content here. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.